Your brain makes decisions by combining fast instincts, learned patterns, and deliberate reasoning. Every choice begins before you notice it. Your brain continuously scans sensations, memories, goals, and threats, then turns that information into action. Choosing coffee, braking at a red light, or trusting a stranger may feel completely different. But underneath, the same biological system is weighing options against what matters right now. The surprising part is that awareness often arrives after the process has already started. So what is happening beneath the feeling of choice? That hidden process is less orderly than the word choice suggests. The problem is that the brain does not calculate every decision like a perfect spreadsheet. It uses shortcuts because attention and energy are limited. A hungry person may value immediate food more than long-term health. A tired driver may miss information that seems obvious later. Emotions also change the numbers, making rewards feel larger and risks feel smaller. This is why two intelligent people can face the same facts and choose opposite paths. But the brain has a reason for preferring speed over certainty. The next distinction quietly changes what your choices mean. Speed makes more sense once uncertainty carries a cost. The brain is solving a survival problem. Act quickly with incomplete information. One system reacts rapidly, spotting patterns and emotional signals before conscious thought catches up. Another system can slow down, compare evidence, and imagine consequences. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman popularized this contrast as fast thinking and slow thinking. These are not two separate brains, but two operating modes sharing one decision-making network. The next step explains why your first reaction can feel so convincing. Fast processing is powerful because it compresses experience into predictions. The brain sees a shape in the dark and asks, "What could this be?" before identifying it clearly. The amygdala helps flag possible danger, while the prefrontal cortex can evaluate whether the alarm makes sense. Meanwhile, memory quietly supplies similar situations and their outcomes. In familiar environments, this saves time. But predictions can also become bias, and that is where the brain's confidence becomes dangerous. That danger points to a deeper shift in how decisions begin. Here is the deeper revelation. Your brain does not simply discover reality, then choose. It predicts what is happening, compares that prediction with incoming evidence, and updates itself when the mismatch matters. In other words, perception and decision-making are linked. The same mechanism that helps you recognize a friend can make you judge a stranger too quickly. Your brain is constantly asking which interpretation best protects your goals. That means changing a decision often requires changing the frame around it. Once you understand that system, better decisions become practical rather than mysterious. First, pause when the choice feels urgent, because urgency amplifies the fast mode. Second, name the emotion influencing you, such as fear, anger, hunger, or excitement. Third, ask what evidence would prove your first interpretation wrong. These steps create distance between the brain's prediction and your response. You are not shutting down intuition, you are giving reasoning a chance to inspect it. You can also redesign the environment around a decision. Put healthy food within reach, remove distracting notifications, and write important choices before discussing them. This works because behavior depends on context, not just willpower. For high-stakes choices, use a simple outside view. What usually happens in similar cases? Then imagine your future self living with each option for 1 year. Small changes can steer a very complex brain. The goal is not perfect certainty. It is better quality information before commitment. So how does the brain make decisions? It predicts, filters, evaluates value, and selects an action using both speed and reflection. Emotion is not an error in the system. It is information about relevance, threat, and reward. Reasoning is not a replacement for intuition. It is a checkpoint when consequences are large. The most reliable choice usually comes from letting both systems contribute. Your next decision will still be imperfect, but now you can see the machinery behind it. Another hidden influence on decision-making comes from the body itself. Before you can explain a choice, Your brain is already reading signals such as hunger, fatigue, tension, and heart rate. These signals do not dictate the answer, but they can change how risky, urgent, or rewarding an option feels. That is why the same problem may seem manageable in the morning and overwhelming late at night, even when the facts have not changed. A useful pause is to name your physical state before deciding. Am I tired, rushed, activated, or calm? This simple check creates distance between a temporary body signal and a permanent conclusion, giving the reasoning parts of the brain more room to compare consequences. The goal is not to ignore emotion, because emotion carries information. It is to identify which part of the message reflects the situation and which part reflects your current condition. That awareness turns a vague impulse into evidence you can examine rather than an order you must obey. Next, discover why habits can override conscious choices. Subscribe for the next episode on the hidden systems shaping your behavior.